Bitcoin might be on the edge of doing something very, very dangerous in this market, and it could result in another big leg coming in for us. So I want to break down what we're seeing here. And in yesterday's live stream, those of you who are subscribed, hitting up the like button so you're getting all this content recommended to you by YouTube, you're going to remember that I was talking about the one bounce area for Bitcoin being this green box right here, this more brighter green box. I was saying that this is the kind of area that I'm expecting Bitcoin to bounce from, and that's just purely because this was our prior swing low. And I was saying that if there's any level that Bitcoin is going to hold, it's probably right here, and bam, that is exactly what we've done. Pretty accurate analysis there. We're already up by about 4%, which I know might not sound like a lot, but in terms of what we're seeing right now, it is definitely a big deal, in my opinion, ladies and gents. And what we're seeing right now is a little bit of a recovery back up. We're on the 1 hour time frame, and the real thing that I think we need to be aware of is just kind of this area right here where we're already finding a little bit of resistance, and then this next green box up here, and this does have some quite heavy implications for the market. So let's break this down. The first thing that I want to acknowledge, if we zoom in even further, is just taking a look at the 15-minute time frame. We get a really good image of this. The market actually starts to rally up quite nicely around here, but take a look at where the market starts to slow down. You see, we start slowing down when we hit this kind of price area just at 16,100, and then we really get a pullback when we hit 16.2, and we have kind of slowly been rallying a little bit higher, but it's clear to see that going up in this area was easier than going up in this area, and we know why that's the case. Again, I was covering this on yesterday's live stream, so shout out to those of you who were tuning in. I do appreciate all of you guys tuning into these bear market live streams. If you're still showing up right now, you already know the deal. I know the deal. That's exactly the kind of behavior that ends up getting rewarded very handsomely when the market picks back up again. I've been saying this for years, never been wrong about it. I'm not going to be wrong about it again. This is what always happens. People that show up and stay focused and continue to educate themselves and stay students of the market even when it's boring like this, they are the ones that make a lot of money. This is obvious. I don't really need to explain why. And the thing is if we look at this kind of price action right here, there was a little bit of kind of consolidation support on the way down. So I think it's only reasonable to expect that we do find some resistance right here. But if we are able to get above this area, which is basically anything above like 16,200, I think that we are going to be hitting this next area, which is very, very tight. It's only like $200-300 above. And this one is an important level in my opinion. There's a lot of reversals that have happened specifically as support in this range. We haven't actually found resistance in this range yet, between 16.4 and 16.6, at least within this kind of short-term area in the market, stretching back to the 10th of November, right after all this FTX drama first started to unfold. And so a little bit of resistance here is what I think a lot of the bears are going to be looking for. And if we take a look at some of our key indicators, we're going to see similar signs to that right now, right? So this 4-hour Ichimoku cloud, not quite here yet, but if we do somehow manage to trade here into the next 4 days, we're going to find resistance at exactly this area. If we take a look at some of our momentum-based indicators, they are here right now with the 4-hour EMA ribbon showing us that we have resistance here at the moment. And again, I just want to highlight for you guys that when the market is bearish and we've got a bit of a spread, this is a very, very reliable indicator, right? So we started to develop a spread right here. It didn't quite work out in this case, but here we had a very obvious spread, and bam, rejection, 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 100% success rate. Not many data points to compare, but this is still a very, very clearly useful indicator. And if you don't know how to get this indicator or how to use it and so on, I've actually made a video right here, which is part of my wider 𝗪𝗪👠 Academy courses, where I'm teaching you how to trade just like I do, exactly everything that I do from A to Z, my analysis, my trading, my psychology, everything's in there. That's all in that course. And this video, if you type this into YouTube EMA 𝗪𝗪👠, you're going to find a free version. Well, you're gonna find the video, which is in the paid thing. It's actually free on YouTube as well, so you get a little bit of a taster of what we're offering. If you're interested to get a little bit more, we're running a Black Friday sale right now, so go ahead and check this out on screen right here. Course is being re-recorded this week as well. It's not going to be done this week, but we're going to be bringing those updates out into the course, and every single one of you that already have access to the course or have had it in the past, you still have it no matter whether or not you're in VIP or not, and you're going to get the upgrade for free. But because we're upgrading it, we're also expanding it. Prices are going up, so make sure you get in now while you can, especially at these very, very good prices. But taking a look at this EMA ribbon right here, we do have this area of resistance at, kind of 16.1, really where we are right now, stretching all the way up to about 16.6. And so I think this is going to be an important level to keep in mind for the markets. Now, the good news is that if we are able to get above this area, that's where things could get really, really fun, in my opinion. We'd then potentially be looking at, not a whole lot of resistance. I mean, I guess you could say there's a little bit more resistance at 17K, but I wouldn't be too worried about it if we can break above kind of 16.6. I'm really really not going to be too worried until we get to about 17.6. This would be the next key area to be looking at for the market to potentially capture a little bit of resistance. And from our low to our to this high, that would be a 13-14% move. And I'm saying this because I don't think it's too crazy. I don't think that that's completely unreasonable to expect Bitcoin to be able to pull off. And the reason that that's quite an important price level is if we stretch all the way back to June of 2022, earlier this year, this was the low that the market set when we crashed down to these price areas, right? So when we had this really, really big drop down, $17,600 was the price level that the market bounced off at. So that's what I'm going to be looking at for a potential really, really heavy hit of resistance. And it would actually work out quite well in terms of, I think right now people are going to really struggle to, kind of accept the idea that Bitcoin can rally up quite nicely. I think that that's going to really scare a lot of people, to be honest. And if we look at things like the Fear and Greed Index, it's been flatlining pretty low for a while. I mean, I've said this to you guys many times. I mean, whenever this happens, it's our perfect setup to see a little bit of a move up in the market, right? And so even though things do look pretty bad, in terms of getting a little bit of a rally that just kind of exceeds our expectations a little bit. I mean, you think about how many short positions are going to be in trouble if the market starts, moving up a little bit. These are the kind of things that we like to think about as, real traders in the market, just kind of understanding the mechanics that, whether you like it or not, are affecting the market quite a bit. The other thing that that's going to mean is that we're also going to be basically deviating above all of this resistance. And if we do end up coming back down, that's going to be a very typical pattern of, we just go a little bit higher than we're supposed to. We go a little bit lower than we're supposed to. And then we just kind of return to the mean. And that's the other thing that I wanted to discuss with you guys, is that it looks to me like Bitcoin might be getting, perhaps a little bit comfy, just kind of trading sideways in a range like this. That's basically what we did for the last 4 months. God, I do not hope that we do something like that again. But if we do something like that, the key thing to keep in mind is that is going to be exhausting selling pressure as time goes on, right? So each time something like this happens, it is better for the space. And crucially, we are going to be looking at a situation where more Bitcoins are being offloaded, and that means there's just less sellers that, want to sell in the market. When sellers leave, you're only, ideally you're only left with buyers. So that, I think, is also very, very important. And that's staying a little bit more on the positive side. I don't know if that's actually going to happen. I don't think that the probability is necessarily super low, but it's not super high either, in my opinion. And so the other thing that I'm going to be looking at is if we do capture a little bit of resistance, because there is some resistance to be found here, in my opinion. And I'm sure, actually, if we take a look at this with the VPVR indicator, another beautiful indicator that helps us really visualize where our support and resistance levels are, you can see all this resistance starts right with my green box up here and peaks all the way up to 16.8, 16.9 actually on this chart. So this is going to be a very important level, right? If Bitcoin can trade into this level, this is where I think a lot of people are going to be looking to enter short positions and get out of their long positions and so on and so forth, potentially start selling a little bit of Bitcoin. If we do get a rejection there and kind of travel all the way back down, that's going to be about a 5-6% move to the downside, and that would be really, really bad. If we do something a little bit like this and come back down here, that would be a big sign that this market could be ready to collapse lower. The main thing is that we just don't want to see the market, spending too much time at the lows, right? I mean, we spent a lot of time kind of in the midpoint between these lows and this high right here that we set up here. We spent a good amount of time in the midpoint. The more time we spend down, the more that tells us that we're actually getting pretty comfy down at these levels. It doesn't take a whole lot to potentially kind of open up these trapdoors, and we already know why there's a big drop for Bitcoin if we end up losing this price area. So these kind of things paint some really good trading opportunities. I mean, like I said, a 5% move down here, pretty nice. Even better than that is the subsequent 10-11% dump down to my support area at 13,800. Everyone's got these support areas different, and we might not bounce at 13.8, right? We could bounce a little bit before that or much later than that. I don't know, but bottom line, there's some really nice big percentage moves here, right? Something that I'd consider doing at this kind of stage in the market if I was a bear. I have actually considered doing this, but I'm just not sure if it's safe enough, really, is entering a short position around here. Let's say, one entry at 16.4, another at 16.6. My average entry then would be 16.5, and a stop loss, I don't know, around here is okay, 16.85. That's a 2% stop loss. I can comfortably use 10x leverage, and that means the move down, I'd potentially stand to make, minus 5.5% move on 10x leverage. There's a 55% profit. So that would be pretty spectacular, right? In terms of just a pretty decent risk to reward. It's about a 2-to-1 risk to reward, a little bit more than that, 2.5-to-1 risk to reward. So it's a really, really healthy trade in terms of the numbers. If I wanted to wait a little bit longer, I think a short kind of below this swing low would be even better. And there's a lot of really, really cool opportunities. Those are the kind of things I'm going to be telling VIPs about, because that's what VIP is about, right? I am a trader first and foremost, and every single trade that I make, every little bit of information about those trades, from the planning phase to the execution phase and beyond, all of it goes inside of 4Fly's VIP. And the really cool thing when you jump in and take advantage of this Black Friday sale is that you're getting a course side by side. So not only are you getting the theory of how I do everything I do and why I do everything I do, but you're getting the practical. You're seeing me implementing all of that in real time. And then when they come together, you just got a beautiful combination, Legends. You've got a beautiful combination that's produced millionaires, and that's, turned good traders into great traders and complete novices into very, very confident traders. Extremely, extremely impressive results. Obviously, not everybody can pull off results like this, because this is still ultimately going to be dependent on you, but still very cool indeed. And if you're wondering where you could take advantage of these opportunities, you already know the deal, ladies and gents. Bybit and BitGet are going to be the places that I'd be looking at for this. BitGet is offering you guys up to $400 with a deposit bonus, and this is literally if you deposit anything over $4,000, you're getting basically a 10% deposit bonus if you deposit around 4K, and then trade a little bit. A 10% deposit bonus, absolutely huge. And so to put this in perspective, if this is something that I did with that bonus, with a 55% profit on $400, it's already a couple $100 profit, and that's free money, right? I wouldn't have to do anything, I wouldn't have to risk anything to make that kind of trade, which is absolutely phenomenal, because it means that if I make money, I get to keep it, but if I lose money, well, I never risked my own money in the first place, and that's really, really cool. BitGet is available anywhere in the world without KYC, without a VPN. Very much worth checking out. And Bybit going quite a few steps further, because they're offering you up to $30,000, but this bonus is not as easy to get as BitGet's. Still, this requires a $250,000 deposit, or there's many more tiers as well. You can just kind of scroll through this and actually just take a look at the link in the description down below, and you'll be able to see what they're offering, up to 30K in deposit bonuses, but obviously some much more manageable ones, which other people that do not have a spare $250,000 can take advantage of as well. And by the way, I've actually just done an interview with Ben Zhao, the CEO and co-founder of Bybit. Just did an interview with him about 6-7 hours ago. It went really well, and I wasn't going easy on him either. I'm really excited for it, and that should be coming out over the next few days. So if you're excited for that, throw me a thumbs up on this YouTube video. I'm really excited for it. He is a man that I look up to, that I'm inspired by, and to be able to interview him, and to be able to interview him when the Bybit team told me that no questions are off limits. I asked them, I told them I don't want to share the questions with you up front. Is that okay? They said, yes, that's okay. And they, what was the other thing? No questions up front, nothing off limits, and I forgot what the other ones are. Just can I ask uncomfortable questions? They said yes to all of these things. It was very, very nice to be able to do that. And you guys are going to see that over the next few days. So go ahead and check it out when that comes out. Just make sure that you are subscribed and all that good stuff, so you can take advantage of it. And if you want to be able to get these bonuses, again, Bybit with this huge bonus, and BitGet with this much easier bonus to get, check them both out with the links in the description down below. You're also going to find the Prime XBT link down below. That exchange is, for me, going to be great, because you can trade commodities and forex and indices and stuff like that with a Bitcoin deposit, which is absolutely great. So go ahead and check that out if that's something that interests you. But let's move ourselves back to the market here and talk about what might happen if we do get a rejection. Like I said, if we get rejected here, this is a lot of empty space in my opinion. I don't think that Bitcoin is going to be able to find any kind of support on the way down here, and that's where things could get a little bit kind of scary for Bitcoin in this case, just because if we are looking at a situation where we start to get a rejection right here, to me that would kind of mark the end of trading in this range. It would be a very, very standard exit from this range as well, really, where we kind of hit the bottom, and we have one last chance at recovering everything, but then we screw it up and then just kind of drop down it would make a lot of sense. So all eyes are going to be on this level, in my opinion. I'm going to be watching this to see how it goes very, very keenly. If we are able to get above this level, then yeah, I'm looking at a move at least up to 17.6, maybe even a little bit of a deviation, right? Maybe we get up to this high at 18.1, and then yeah, we potentially drop back down. I did see one interesting chart pattern, which was about the Wyckoff potential accumulation pattern. It actually does kind of look like what we're doing right now. Let me show this to you on a different chart. This is actually courtesy of 𝗲𝗡𝗍𝒑, who's one of my good friends. I've actually had him on this YouTube channel before. And you know, it looks something a little bit like this, and then we just kind of rocket off into the sunset and everything's beautiful and glorious. So this looks pretty hard to believe right now, even for me, but I don't want to be too closed off to ideas like this. You know, the thing is, you know, when the markets are at their absolute bottoms, everybody thinks they're going to drop lower, right? So, okay, we're definitely like that right now. And, you know, I'm hearing the sentiment of the bottom is in or it might be close. And I don't know, guys. I don't know. And I'm hearing more of the sentiment of it might be close. Put it this way. I mean, 14,000 is the very, very obvious area of support. And I can't think back to any situation in any market where we bottomed out at an obvious level, right? We sure as fuck didn't do that in 2018. Nobody expected Bitcoin to bottom at 3.1, you know, and we didn't do that in 2020 with the March coronavirus crash where we bottomed out at 3.8. You know, a lot of these things don't make sense to me. So, you know, I don't have an answer for you because I don't know what we're actually going to be doing, but these are things that, you know, I mean, they raise questions and they're important questions to be asking. So this is what I'm going to keep focusing my attention on at the moment. You know, as I see it right now, though, the bottom line is that, you know, we are basically just heading right into an area of resistance when we've, you know, after we've displayed quite a bit of weakness. So I don't know. You tell me what's going to happen. You know, to me, this doesn't look great. You know, as a conventional technical analyst, the only kind of hope is that we just kind of go to the top of this range, whether that means up to 17 or potentially up to, you know, 17.6 around here, just kind of trading somewhere like this. That's our best case scenario that I'm seeing right now. So we're going to have to see how Bitcoin interacts with this resistance area, and there is more resistance from other indicators as well. So we're about to hit some 1 hour Ichimoku cloud resistance. Not the worst. It's not something I'm particularly worried about. It is the 1 hour time frame. It's not even very thick, so I'm not really too worried about this resistance. And then, you know, in terms of our EMA ribbon on the 1 hour, we've already flipped that, or at least started to flip that bullish now. So I'm not too worried about how that looks at the moment. So it is just the kind of more midterm, you know, indicators, the 4 hour, the 1 day, they're all still pretty bearish. We have a long way we can move up on the daily, really, until we start hitting resistance. So that is, I think, pretty cool. And so these are the things I'm going to be watching. Of course, I'm going to keep you guys updated on it. I'm going to be keeping VIPs updated on this because, like I said, there are some trading opportunities here that I think are brewing, and I'll be telling them exactly what I'm doing. So you already know the deal if you're inside of VIP. I'm telling you, you know, what kind of positions I'd like to enter, why I'd like to enter them, and then exactly where I would do that, where I'd be putting my entry level, where I'd be putting my stop loss, the reasoning behind choosing each of those levels, and so on and so forth. You are getting inside my mind, legends. And if that's something that you like the idea of, then go ahead and check out the link to my free Telegram channel by following this link in the description down below. This is going to give you more analysis from myself and my team completely free of charge around the clock, pinged straight to your phone. And if you do want to join 4 Flies of VIP, you can then click on my name and then click on send message. So very, very straightforward process. No downloads, no signups. And you can get yourself into a direct chat with me where you can ask me everything you want, and of course I can give you access to the group as well. So we still do it this way instead of using a website and stuff like that, because you guys like to talk to me, and I like to be able to do that as well. So it works. Why fix what isn't broke? You know, I mean, a lot of nobody ever complains about this. Everybody likes the fact that they can, you know, I mean, that I'm only one message away, right? And I might not see your message all the time, but if I don't, one of my assistants will, and it's fairly easy for me to just come on and take a look at a message if it's something that I really need to see anyway. So there you go. Hope you've enjoyed this one. Take advantage of BitGet and Bybit with these beautiful opportunities in this market. It's a good idea to spread yourself out, right? So if you already have multiple exchange accounts, that's good. But if not, you obviously need to get a backup and so on, whether you get it one with my bonus links or without a bonus or whatever. It doesn't really matter. You just need to spread out your money if you haven't done so already. So these are great opportunities. I know that many of you guys are not on BitGet already, and they're offering you a very, very, very good incentive to get on. And of course, Bybit doing the exact same, but just going way crazier with it. So go ahead and check them both out with the link in the description below. Anyway, with that though, I'm going to be signing off. Hope you enjoyed this one. You know what to do. Hit up the like, subscribe to the bell, all the good stuff, and I'm out. Bye-bye.